everyone, Edna Kimble, Edna Sells, and welcome to today's episode where we have a very special guest. She's like, yay! This is Laura Mullins Young, and Laura is joining us today because we had several people want you to come out so that we could interview you and chat with you about your business. So let me just tell them a little bit about you and then we'll jump right in. So Laura is a practitioner of yoga therapy. And she has had several positions, everything from cane break to Yoga 108. She's getting ready to launch her own yoga studio here in Tahlequah. Is that public?
It will
is
be
now.
Yes. It is. There we go.
We're breaking news.
Yeah, that's
breaking
good.
news. I love it. I love it. She's also a community yoga wellness instructor for Tahlequah. Love that. And she's a wellness advocate, absolutely. And one of the things that I love is she's actually an advocate of women-owned businesses and local businesses. Now, she may not realize that, but if you go on any of her social media, honestly, 80% of it is her promoting other local businesses and women in business. And I'm all about that. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yes, yeah, it's so important that we do that. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, you are from Tahlequah. You live here now.
Live here now. Not from Okie originally, yes. Grew up Edmond, Oklahoma. And then moved away after college to Colorado, Arizona. So got tastes of all different places and then decided to come back home and decided on Tahlequah.
And Tahlequah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it and love it, but how did you fall in love with it?
So my husband and I, Tyson, wanted to be closer to family, and we're going, okay, where in Oklahoma? But we were in Colorado at the time, so decided to take a little bit of Colorado home with us, and Tahlequah with its rivers and the beauty of it is a little bit like that special place in Colorado. So that was the initial attraction, and then we're here still. So 16 years later.
16 years.
16 years later.
Wow. Okay.
At least.
Yeah. And I think that's such a surprise to people, and that's the number one question I say is like, how did you choose the little spot in the road, which we're not anymore because we're growing, but 16 years ago we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's just a little gym, I mean, it is. And once you're here, I guess it's kind of like, what do they say? Once you're here, you stay for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
So,
it's
yeah.
Pretty fabulous. Pretty fabulous. I love that correlation with Colorado, though, because I know the rivers and the mountains.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were camping, doing all that, then just no kids, and then you come here and you still can do that. You still have all the river, which we now have found for you, so have our little place there. But yeah, love it.
Okay, well, and speaking of the river, there is when I bring a guest on, I always research you guys, which I know you, but I still kind of check things out, and I learned something new this week. You are part of Hipcamp.
Yes.
Explain Hipcamp.
I know.
I had never heard, and I'm like, I like to be the industry know-it-all, and I did not know that.
And now you do, and I'm glad
Yes.
because it's super cool. So Hipcamp is kind of like the Airbnb for camping. I know. And so we have our river space, which is beautiful. You've been out there, 5 acres, right on the river, and we are looking to let people camp there because it's just such a beautiful spot. We don't get to use it enough. So yeah,
it is one of my happy places.
I know.
It is. I couldn't even believe the price point either. I was just like, I'll just rent it for the day, which I think I've done before. I think I've done that twice actually. So.
And we've had people rent so far. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys! I cannot. In fact, we will put a link below so that anyone is not familiar with Hipcamp. It's kind of like an Airbnb for campers. So bring your tent, or I guess they could rent it for the day.
Yeah.
We did like a little yoga retreat and played in the water, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So not much of a tent overnight person
but
for me,
that's okay.
but yeah.
Daytime too. Float the river from there.
Oh yeah, it was kayaking for sure. So it's Hipcamp, and how long have you been a part of that?
So we just started this about probably a month ago. We've already had 2 visitors rent, and so it's a new thing, Hipcamp is, but it's fabulous for like if you have an Airstream, for example, and you just want some space that's not crowded by all the other river, resort places. It's pretty awesome.
I was just on here, and there's so many little hidden gems here in our market that are not on Airbnb, and I had no way.
Check out Hipcamp for sure. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. So a little little day retreat is
Yes.
what I would do with that. So you're kind of in the yoga world, but you also dabble in real estate, obviously. And you were a co-founder of Zenith Construction, and that's a local commercial
Mm-hmm.
construction company,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes, and you guys have built quite a few
Yeah.
things here
Yes,
locally.
yes, we have. So 2010, I believe, we started Zenith Construction, and my husband has the construction background. That's what he went to
She's
OU
not out there
for,
with the
but I
hammer.
helped with the business side and
Yes.
still do. And yes, so we offer local commercial construction as well as regional. And our thing is new construction, remodels. We say that we're small enough to listen, but big enough to deliver, and that's the truth.
Oh, that's
So
a
we have the
good
experience,
slogan.
but can, be small town too. So,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. And
Yeah.
there's quite a few commercial businesses here in
Mhm.
town that you guys have built from
Oh,
the
yeah,
ground
for
up.
sure.
So love
Uh-huh.
that. So
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But realistically, the reason we have you here
Where my heart is, yeah.
where your heart is the yoga.
Uh-huh.
So you, I actually had the pleasure of working with you individually, and it was prior to my hip replacement. And I don't know that we ever really got to talk after that, but the surgeon was just kind of blown away with how quickly I bounced back. And his whole thing was just keep doing what you were doing, because the yoga really
Yes.
kind of prepared me for an injury, which sounds
Absolutely.
backward, but it prepared me to recuperate from the injury.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah, no, and that's what yoga will do.
I love
It's
that.
miraculous.
Yes. So where all do you teach from now?
So currently I am teaching at the 108 studio downtown,
Okay.
and then as you mentioned, and I'm doing a few privates, but excitingly I'm opening up my own studio, so my own space, and that will be in the fall. And so we will have a new studio in town, and it'll be different. It'll be a really modern, like upbeat vibe with a new kind of yoga, hot yoga. We're going to have hot yoga, so we're installing infrared heaters, and they will actually directly heat your body instead of heating the air around you. Super cool. So it's going to be fun, and it's a really new thing for Tahlequah and actually green country in general.
I
So,
love
yeah.
that. I
It's
love that.
exciting.
So, and in the fall and the cold, that just
Yeah.
sounds very cozy.
Sure. Yes.
Yes,
It's
yes.
good for year round, but especially the colder weather.
Okay,
So,
well, I
yeah.
am a little apprehensive.
Mhm.
I've done,
Mhm.
I feel like all the yogas, but not hot yoga.
Yeah.
So, what could we expect in that? Like, am I going to be drenched when I walk out?
So there'll be different levels, and not
Okay.
every class will be hot. The studio is
Okay.
totally equipped for just a yoga class that has no
Oh.
heat.
Okay.
It's just kind of the icing on the cake for people that love hot yoga, because from what I know and hear, you either love it or you're fine without it, know.
Okay.
So with the heat, though, there's benefits such as it's very detoxifying. So when you sweat and you're not drenched, you can limit that. And your heart rate goes up, which is good. There's so many benefits. You're taking bigger breaths. We've learned that we don't breathe enough. I think we breathe like 15% of our capacity every day. So in hot yoga, you're just having
I
to
need to
breathe
take a breath.
harder, right? So there's tons of benefits. And just for everybody. And our thing will be, it's yoga for everybody. So anyone can come,
Oh, I
anyone,
love
and
that.
everyone will be welcome. So it's going to be great. And you can just lie down and get some heat, if you want, whatever. There'll be something for everyone. So
I
super
love that.
exciting.
And I will say, when I started my yoga journey, that was years ago before I met you, it was at 108 Yoga, and I was very, very unhealthy at the time and could not do, there were sessions where I just kind of was in child's pose, and even that was uncomfortable,
Yeah.
So, but you don't have to be an expert. You just come and do what you can, and then you just get better and better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you'll probably vouch for, for me personally, it was you find your yoga mat for whatever reason. You
Yes.
show up, everyone shows up for different reasons. And then once you do that, it's kind of the workout, but then all of a sudden it transitions into a way of
Mental
being
health.
and living. Yeah. And then so many good things come from it.
Oh
So,
my gosh, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So hot yoga,
Hot
you're
yoga.
bringing that to green country. I love it, I love it.
Yeah.
And you recently did something else that was completely new, or that I had not heard of. Quiet yoga?
Our headphones.
Yes. Is that what you called it? Was quiet?
Yes,
Okay.
silent yoga.
Silent
Mhm.
yoga, okay.
And we were doing that at the Franklin Castle. taking a short
Beautiful
break
venue,
because it's
by
so
the way.
hot right now, but
Oh,
we're going to
okay.
continue in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful venue. So what silent yoga allows you to do is I provide the headphones, and so a person can come and really just immerse themselves in their practice. So it's like no one's even around them, but they have beautiful view of the, wherever you are. But there's certain tones in your headphones going through frequencies that actually heal various parts of whatever you might need in your body. So you're doing yoga, but they're called solfeggio frequencies, so it might help
like
heart.
a sound bath?
Kind of like a sound bath, but
Okay.
just right in your ears.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and there's fun music too. But yes, it's a very healing practice for yoga. So and fun.
So
We
no
keep
one
it-
running down the stairs.
Right.
No car
cars
horns.
honking, and they do. They honk the whole time, but nobody knows.
Somebody's yelling, "Do you have the keys?"
Right, no, just so
all of
quiet.
those, or someone's phone.
Yeah.
It's on silent, but you can hear it.
No one breathing, deep breathing
I
next to
see.
you.
When I heard that, I was like, at first, I was like, "Well, what would be the
Yeah.
point?" And then I started thinking of all the times I've been in the zone, and then
Yeah.
you come out of the zone because of a noise.
And that's just
so.
it. You kind of get in the zone, and it helps you stay there. And it's very, you just kind of block it all out, which we want to do when we get on our mat anyways. Is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of block that
Yeah.
outside world out. So yeah.
Take an hour and think of nothing
Yes,
else.
do nothing else.
Definitely a mental health
Yeah.
break. I love that.
Yeah.
Quiet yoga, hot yoga. What else can we
Wow.
expect from this new yoga? This is exciting.
Whatever anybody will do, you
All
know.
right,
So
all right.
super excited about it. And I started yoga for practice for 15 years probably before I taught.
Oh, wow.
So it's just one of those things where you find why you love it, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
your passion, and then ultimately bringing it to a community is, I think, probably for me personally the success of it.
Yeah.
So
And so how long have you been teaching?
so I've been teaching for 5 years,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
shorter than I've practiced for sure. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the way
Absolutely.
went.
Yes.
So,
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
I love that. Okay. And on the any idea like what the hours will be or anything yet? Or
So we will have hours for everybody. We'll have a consistent schedule, so you'll know that, for example, if there's a 9 a.m. class, there's going to be a 9 a.m. class most every day.
okay.
We'll have early morning classes 2 or 3 times a week.
How early?
6 a.m.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that's great.
And I've had a number of my friends personally request that just because of their schedules.
Yes, yeah.
So, and then an evening or 2 class as well.
Okay, that's
Trying to
fantastic.
accommodate your all schedule, you busy people. That's what I need input for.
Absolutely.
So,
And the location's going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's going to be
Thank
right
you.
downtown. So I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Yeah.
So, and are we ready to commit to a time frame or a month that you're going to open?
we're going to try to commit to September.
Oh, wow.
End of September, and I have a
Okay.
specific date for a specific reason,
Okay.
but we'll see how that goes.
Lunar
It's something, you
cycles
know,
in
you know
there,
how
so-
I go off seasons. I'm a seasonal person,
I
so
love that,
yeah.
though. Oh, that's
and we're
gonna be
getting
so
the
fun.
construction's going right now.
Okay.
So very exciting. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
Well, I mentioned it a little bit at the beginning, but I'm so thrilled and honored to work with you in that venue, with you as a yoga instructor. But I just so admire the fact that, again, you are in the business for yourself as an instructor, but when you go to your social media, all you're doing is promoting other local business
thank you.
owners
Yeah.
and businesses and women-owned businesses.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
that. Where does that come from for
Absolutely.
you?
I just think that's part of what we do, especially in a community when so many people are getting away. I think places kind of are going away a little bit from that community feel. So whether it's internet, phones, whatever it is, here in Tahlequah, you still support your local people. That's what keeps things going. And so for me personally, it's seeing all these innovative, intelligent people come up with their business plans or their models of what they want to do with their life, and just really, I think that's amazing. So we should support that,
Yeah.
whether it's the local coffee shop owner or real estate, whoever. It's amazing, especially women.
Yeah, I love it. I think that it all of the boats rise with the tide. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And we
Yes.
can help that. And there is something still special about Tahlequah, even though we are growing. Keeping that community balance,
Yes.
I think, is so important, and
Yes.
being involved in the community.
Yes, because it is true. I think people are kind of, there's maybe not so much of that some places
Right.
where
right.
you can go, and it takes a village, so we're only as good as our community, like you just said.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah. So what do you do when you're not on the mat? Like what is, because I know that that's such a large part
Reading
of
about
it.
what to do on the mat.
Okay,
No,
so
I read.
studying,
I do.
yeah.
I study. I'm a give me all the information. So if I do have free time, I'm probably reading or just kind of maybe outside, probably with the kiddos at the river.
Okay, and so you mentioned kiddos. How many children?
3 girls. Yes,
Three
3
girls.
girls, ages almost 13, almost 9, and 3.
You are in the thick of things. And they do yoga with you?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And does the husband do yoga?
No. We're working on that. He needs to.
He needs
and
to.
you know what they say, so he will say, I don't have time. And if someone says they don't have time, you tell them, well, instead of 5 minutes, you need to give an hour because that's how much he needs it. You know, we all do. So
Yeah.
we're working on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
will
the girls
attest
do.
that stress-wise, it's shocking how much of a stress relief it is, just taking that hour, and you really can't think about anything else other than where to put your hand and remember to breathe.
Right.
So,
yes. In the moment.
yes, I love that. Yeah. Well, we understand with the kiddos and the full-time career here and everything that you're super, super busy. So we're excited that you were able to come in. Can you tell us a little bit more about Tahlequah?
Yes, so Tahlequah,
Calm.
yes, that's okay.
Calm, I think.
Calm or calm, either way. And, that's kind of a funny moniker for Tahlequah, but it works because ultimately with yoga, I also just really believe in wellness. And so I believe that the healthier we are, the happier we are, the more productive we are. So I started Tahlequah with that in mind, and not so much yoga, but just eventually maybe allowing that to be kind of a place for wellness.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit of a spin off of yoga. So now focusing on Yoga Station, the new yoga studio, but hoping that Tahlequah can be used in the future and now for just an overall wellness for the community.
I
yeah.
love that. And I didn't get a chance to dig too far into that. So the website with information and other classes and everything that's provided?
Yes, so, and Yoga Station will be what the new yoga is called, and I'll have all that coming out. We'll provide it for you. Hopefully we'll share that. But yes, Tahlequah just is going to be kind of an umbrella for some stuff right now. So
Okay.
I ultimate goals are just to have a large wellness, come and get everything, whatever you need, it's here.
Here's
So,
the menu. What do you want?
Yes.
Relaxation,
Yes,
stress.
yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
love it.
Very
I
much
love
an
it.
advocate of that. So.
Okay, well, we will definitely go ahead and put a link on that.
Okay.
But be mindful that that's something that you're building out right
Mhm.
now. And so in the beginning, it's not going to have as much, but stay tuned because
Yes.
it will continue to grow.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
I
thank
love
you.
that.
Thank
So, well, we understand how swamped you are, so we're not going to keep you too long, but it is a real estate podcast, so we do have to bring it back to real estate. And one of the questions I always like to ask, if money were no object, what are 3 things your dream home would have to have?
Dream home.
Yeah.
If money were no object. Okay. Well, swimming pool right now. 'Cause
Ah,
that's
yeah,
like,
it's
I don't
triple
have one.
digits out
Mhm.
there, yes.
Oh my gosh, my home has. I'm just like it has everything I need. Let me think.
Well, when your husband's a builder,
Well,
you're
no,
a little
but
ahead,
and,
right?
low maintenance. What else? I would like a really large green space with my kids all play sports. We've got softball players, tennis players, and soccer players. So probably just a
Okay.
large sporting,
Yeah.
And then, gosh, pool and that. What else? And then what would I want?
Maybe a yoga studio?
Well, yes, of course, a yoga studio. Of course, you can do yoga anywhere, but yes, a yoga studio.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
there
your
we go.
private little space
Yes,
for that.
yes,
That's awesome.
that's
I knew
your
you were
great-
going to say the pool. Yes.
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, well, it's always about the water,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
And so then we also like to ask river or lake. I already know the answer to this, but
River.
river, of course, you're a river gal.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. And are the girls the same way?
They would probably, they're at the age where they're kind of liking the, as far as river and lake,
Yeah.
they're kind of thinking the lake sounds fun.
Yeah, yeah.
River's kind of slow. I love it because it's slow, but the lake's more exciting, and so, but we're in the right place for both. So,
Oh, and that's
know.
the beautiful
Mhm.
thing about Tahlequah is people don't realize how much we actually do have here. So I love that.
They're very busy.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you coming
Oh,
out.
thank
We're
you.
going to put the links below. You guys coming soon.
Coming.
The yoga station?
The yoga station.
The yoga
Mhm.
station. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
you heard it here.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So the
Thank
timing
you.
was perfect because I wasn't sure if you were going to feel comfortable
Here we
talking
go.
about it yet.
Here we
so
go. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you for coming out. We're definitely going to put the information below so they can reach out to you. And do you have much availability at this point for private sessions or?
I do, and we will, once we get the studio kicked off, there will actually be time slots for privates too there that will work out as well. So,
Okay.
and we'll have a number of instructors that can help with that too, besides
Okay.
myself.
And the reason I think that's so important is having wanted to explore that, but I was super intimidated.
Mhm.
So doing it one-on-one
Absolutely.
takes that away completely because
Absolutely.
you're so patient.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
the studying part, she would always come in with like this little, informational sheet about it or send me something. And it
Yeah.
really was helpful as
Good.
to what I was able to do and why I would want to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
so.
we plan to actually have a worry-free beginners class is what it will be called because yes, people, it is intimidating.
Yes, yeah.
And so there's no worry.
Yeah,
You just show
I
up.
can't
Yeah.
stand on my head and put
Yes.
my leg that
Yeah.
way.
It should be for everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in
you.
today.
Yes, thank you,
We're
Edna.
super excited about the new yoga studio. But until then, you can still catch her at one of the other venues
Mhm.
that you're
Uh-huh.
actively
Yes.
practicing at.
Practicing.
Practicing, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll put those links below also. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Guys, as always, please like, follow, and share. That's how we promote small local businesses and again, help all of the boats rise with that. So that's very helpful. And if there's someone that you would like to see as a guest on the podcast, reach out. We'll contact them. Or if you would like to be a guest, reach out and we'll have that conversation. And as always, thank you so much for watching today's episode.